say. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Hello and welcome back. Yes. Back in the building, baby, with your boy Frankie and your girl Chloe Money.
Hi, everyone.
Yes.
I got banned from doing the introduction because of last week's Kumbaya.
Yeah, nah. We ain't on that, but it was fun while it lasted.
It was.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. We
Yes.
hope you had a good fortnight because we're back.
Yep.
Every 2 weeks. We hope you guys had a good fortnight, had fun, had worked hard.
Yes.
Work hard, play hard.
But what are you guys back at? You're back to the Unfiltered Exchange podcast, baby. That's right. That's our name on YouTube and Spotify. So if you're not following us,
That's it.
make sure you do. You know what to do. Make sure we go
us on
follow.
everything.
Yes.
Absolutely everything.
And when Chloe says everything, she means everything.
I mean everything, man.
Literally.
Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
We're
But yeah,
going to start with what? With the weekly recap. What
The
has been
usual.
happening? We've just been working. We actually spent Saturday night at home, which was nice.
so nice.
It was beautiful. We just chilled. We had a good chilled kind of weekend.
Yeah. But you know what it is when you're continuously going out week after week after week. You don't get to appreciate just being home in the quietness of your own
100%.
sanctuary. So that was really nice for us to do that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. We discovered a new kebab shop.
Yeah, all the way up in, I think it's like
Delahaye.
Delahaye.
We were in Delahaye.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Look, it was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we've been pretty chill. It's been good.
Yeah.
Relaxed vibes. But yeah, we're back with another episode. We're in pajamas today, if you can't tell. We're having since the comeback, this is our first pajama party chats.
Yes. Speaking of pajamas, you know what's pretty like,
What?
you've probably done and you don't even know that you've done?
What?
You're wearing Snow White. Now, they just recently dropped the new Snow White movie.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
My mum bought me these for my birthday. This has nothing to do with the recent movie.
No reference to it
No,
whatsoever.
not
but
at all.
I just thought I'd put it out there because it hasn't been getting the greatest review. But anyways, we're not
You
here
know
to talk
what?
about that.
I'm dying to see Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Because me and my sister, shout out to you, who refuses to come on the podcast.
She's too shy. She's got
She's
stage fright.
But me and her, that was like one of our meme movies because my sister learnt that whole... We didn't know what they were singing, what they were saying. Karina learnt that whole song. And to this day, she still does her... the dancing. We were mesmerised by that movie.
She feels very cultured after doing that, eh?
Oh, she did. She did. But honestly, like, even me, we used to do it all the time
Yeah.
as kids because we're like, oh my God, like it was the most iconic dance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like we're going to be at the door at Hoyt's as soon as it comes out, me and Karina.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but now that obviously we've started off the podcast with a little bit of light, some good heartfelt lighting the mood, the energy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But today what we're actually going to be talking about is pretty serious, and it's a conversation we've had before on this podcast. If you go back to a few of the episodes, if you're new here, make sure you go watch our other videos as well, by the way.
Yes.
So you're probably wondering, what is this thing, what is this message we're going to talk about today? Well, I'm going to get straight to the point. It's mental health. But not
I'm
just...
so far away from the buttons.
It's all right.
I'm not going to use my foot. That's gross.
This woman literally stretched out her foot trying to press the button, yo. Yo, we gotta sanitize it now for the guest that comes on.
It didn't reach. I'm too short. I'm way too short. It didn't work. No, I don't even think we have an appropriate button. Frankie, stop! He's going to have the ick from me now.
You know what it is? I know we're about to talk about mental health, but we're just going to sidetrack a little bit because this just reminded me what Chloe's just done of an incident that we came across.
What?
One day we were at the shops and we usually go to our local fruit shop. We're not going to name the name because we don't want to out it.
Yeah.
Right? And we're walking in and we're looking at this guy. He's one of the workers there, No,
but we didn't know he was a worker.
Yes.
We didn't know. He just looked like a member of the public at this point because the workers just wear like casual clothes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to put that disclaimer.
No.
We didn't know he works there until the incident happened.
Yes. So pretty much the incident was Brother decided to take his shoes off and touch his socks
His red and black stripy socks.
with his hands on his feet.
He touched his foot.
Yes,
Socks,
foot-
sweaty foot.
Some fungal,
Oh, fuck,
really,
Frankie.
really got in there, really
Yeah,
nice.
he was doing something.
Yeah, he was literally getting in there, y'all.
He was
And
doing
then
something.
Chloe and I, we looked at each other like, nah, we don't think he's about to do what we think he's gonna do. Brother puts his shoes back on or whatever it is.
So he's touched,
wearing.
but he's touched the underneath of his shoe.
Yes,
And he's also touched his foot.
and then he puts the shoe back on, and we look at each other like, bro, don't do it.
We
Don't
just had
do
we
it.
had an inkling that he worked there, but we weren't 100% because they don't have uniform.
Yeah, my brain was thinking, yo, don't do it. Yeah, oh my god.
Oh my god, Frankie! Lo and behold, this man turns around and starts organizing the freaking apples.
Yeah,
I looked at
Yeah.
Frankie and I go,
we're literally about to go in there.
my god.
And we proceeded to go in. I kid you not, every single thing we brought home, we made sure we scrubbed
Yeah.
really well before we ate anything. But
Realistically though, what we bought bananas, which okay, cool, they come out of the peel. We bought a bag of oranges.
Yeah.
Cool, they also come out of the peel.
yeah,
We didn't buy any apples. We didn't
Yeah.
buy any peaches that day.
thank God for that.
I know we bought cucumbers, but I peel them anyway. And if I don't peel them, they are extremely scrubbed and washed before we eat them.
Yeah,
And then we bought stuff from the fridge and frozen section and off the shelf. Anyway, that is, my feet are not in that situation.
Yes,
I do
but-
not like feet
but
at all.
I just got sidetracked a little bit.
Yeah, because I've stuck my foot out
It
to
reminded
try
me
and
of
press the
that.
soundboard with my toe.
Yes, and it reminded me of. I was like, you know what? It's a pretty good story
That's
to share with
beautiful,
the audience.
Frankie.
Yes,
Absolutely beautiful.
So now you know. But now we're going to shift back to where we were in the beginning. Yes, we're going to talk about mental health, but we're not just talking about mental health as a general thing. We're being more specific today, and we're talking about mental health in a relationship setting.
I want to press a button.
Go ahead.
No, because then I'm going to move my spot.
Do you want me to press it?
Go. Pick a button. Just hope it's appropriate.
Emotional damage.
Frankie.
Kind of appropriate,
Oh my
kind of
God.
not. But yeah, I just had a guess.
Well done,
But yes,
sir. You fuck. Out.
yes. But when you are you okay?
Fine.
Are you having like a
No, I said choose a button that's appropriate. Oh, God. It's okay.
Yes.
Proceed.
So, yeah, when you hear mental health, what's the first thing that comes to you? Like, what do you think about when you hear mental health in a relationship? Let me be more specific.
In a relationship,
Yes,
conversations.
conversations.
Can I just do a quick disclaimer?
Yes,
So Frankie and I usually don't plan our episodes properly. It's more like we have our talking points. Tonight and last episode, if you haven't realized, we're not reading off a computer, nothing. Frankie has his phone
ta-da.
and we've just got a couple of talking points on there. So
Yeah.
the unfiltered exchange is
It's
actually
really
getting
unfiltered.
It's getting even more unfiltered as
Yeah.
we're going on. So
Yeah.
just a disclaimer, you can see, like, you'll see that he's holding his phone.
Yeah,
He's literally just got a couple of talking points, whereas we used to have
yeah,
a bit more detail.
Yes.
Now we're going, especially me, I'm going so off script, quotation marks. But yeah, just so you guys know.
freedom of speech. That's what it's
Yeah.
all about. Comfortability and
That's
freely
right.
expressing yourself.
That's
but
right.
also a quick disclaimer: if whatever we touch on today has some sort of effect on you, or you feel like you need to seek support, please reach out to the appropriate services.
100%.
Do your research and get the support that you need, because you got to look after your mental health. Because
100%.
if you're not right up here, you can't be right physically. So
If anything,
Yeah.
we'll add some links in the description to some services that,
yes,
we come across on social media
Yes.
that could be of assistance or help to anyone.
yeah.
Obviously, this is just based off what we
We-
see. We are not professionals. We say it every week. We're just here to talk shit and have fun.
Yep.
And, that's it. But yeah, we'll leave some links in the description, links and phone numbers,
yeah.
some reputable services.
Yes.
But sorry, yeah, back to your
But
question.
but always do your own research. Yeah,
100%.
but yeah, I was just saying, like, when you hear it, mental health, because
Yep.
it's a word that gets thrown around a lot. But
It is.
but I don't think-
more often than a few years back, it's definitely been.
Yeah. I think just after COVID, it's been a lot more of a predominant word in society in general.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But yeah, I just want to get a little bit of like what you said, communication, right? When you hear mental health, like when it comes to mental health and relationships.
When it's a relationship, like obviously it's like when you have mental health concerns personally, it's like you can't, like, you can talk to yourself and have your own affirmations to try and improve yourself as a person mentally, which I think everyone has done that. But
or tries to do.
Yeah, but in a relationship, it's a relationship. So there's more than one person involved. There's two of you. In some cases, there's multiple. No judgment. But I'm just going to go based off two. There's two people. And I think the key thing to do is communicate, because how can you move forward and prosper as a couple if you're not communicating and speaking about the problems at hand? You can't keep putting it under the rug. Yeah. Because one day, one of you or both of you are going to completely lose your shit. Yeah. And your whole relationship is just going to diminish into, a crumb when you've built a loaf of bread. Yeah. So, oh my God.
Great terminology.
Wow, okay.
Damn.
Oh my God.
All right, Chloe with the good hair coming through, y'all. Coming through.
Yeah, that was a really good analogy.
Mic drop. Yes.
That's my job. But yeah, that's the best way for me to put it. If things are unspoken and things are not talked about, and it comes down to anything, like it could be the smallest little thing. Like, honestly, it can come down to what butter you're buying at the supermarket. And then little things like that. Yeah. Like, you don't know, just having that open communication just, really opens your doors to peace and clarity and, having that sense of, that's my person. I can feel comfortable speaking to my person about how I'm feeling about our relationship. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's why I think communication's important.
Oh, that's really good, babe. And
me and my breadcrumbs.
Yeah, your breadcrumbs analogy, and I think people got that. But I also think that you went really thorough about what you think it is for you, because at the end of the day, it's different for everyone, right?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's relationship's different,
and everyone, as like people in general, as individuals, they're different, right? But for me, when I think about it, I see something that you can't see. It's like, you see, when I hear mental health, it's like secret. You know what I mean? Unless it's a secret, unless somebody expresses and tells you how they're feeling. Yeah. Because we see people physically, especially when in a relationship. Yeah. We get, especially when, like us, when you've been together for a while, things seem so routine, and things can come across as okay all the time. But there's people in relationships where their partners are secretly struggling, but they don't want to feel like they're a burden.
That's a problem. Yeah. That's a big problem. And I can say that we've gone through it. Yeah. Like, honestly, from both ends, really. Because it's like we both have we both have shit going on in our lives, right? And then one day, one person might be going through or feeling even more shit in their life than the other. Yeah. But they won't say anything because that your partner is already going through something. Why put it on them? Like, we've both been through that. So I totally understand, like, bringing it back to how we are. Yeah. And it's like people are shy. Like, if you've got your person or people, you got your person, you got your people, even it comes down to friends as well. You need to have that sense of they're here because they love you as a friend, as a family member, as a partner. They're here sticking by you through thick and thin. Yeah. You can't, like, at some point you're going to have to tell them what's going on, because how are they meant to help you? Yeah.
But sometimes I get what you're saying, and I totally agree with you. But sometimes it's like there's so much happening in the day-to-day life. Like when you go to work, there's probably so much pressures at work, or when you drop your kid off to daycare, or when you pick up the kids from school, or you take them to sports. It's so easy to neglect your own mental health.
Oh, 100%.
It's so easy, especially when you've got kids or you've got major responsibilities. It's so easy because majority of the time people are prioritizing, right? They're prioritizing all the thing that needs to get done. This needs to get done. That needs to get done. Putting themselves out there for others, which is a really good thing to do, right? It's great to be selfless.
Oh, 100%.
But then at some point, it's like things start starts to go wrong in the relationship, and then you're like, wait, but why were you even fighting? And then you come to sit down and reflect, and you're like, well, I've actually been feeling a lot of pressure at work.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to express that. I've been using things to distract myself and to keep myself busy, because by me keeping myself busy, it's like I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
But that's not a healthy way to go
No.
about it, because there's going to come a time you're going to be alone. Maybe the wife and the kids, or your partner might just go out to do the shopping or whatever. It's going to be you and your thoughts. So, those thoughts are going to start creeping in, and then it's going to start making you feel a certain way. And then you question, well, why am I feeling this way?
Yeah.
But because you are so busy keeping yourself busy,
Yeah.
no pun intended, right? That you actually didn't know that you were probably struggling mentally. So, yeah.
No, I get that 100%. But it always starts with mental health, but then it affects other aspects of your life. It's not just your mental health that starts to decline. It's your mental health, then it's your physical health. I'm bringing out year 12 HHD here, health and human development, if you know what I'm talking
Australian
about.
education coming through.
There's the spiritual health, mental health, physical health, and is there 4?
Probably like emotional health.
It starts, I personally think, this is not science. Do not take me as a scientist or a doctor.
Yes.
But I think everything always starts with your mental health. Yeah. And from there, it's going to affect every other aspect of your health
life.
And your life.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you can start with, I'll use a personal experience, right? When I was going through some health stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mentally, I was stressed. I was like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? I was in limbo for a very long time because I was waiting to get diagnosed with something, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Long story short, it started off with, mental health. I'm stressing. I'm anxious. I'm really stressed.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say I was probably a little bit depressed as well, because I felt like I was different to everyone else, even though I was living the same.
Yeah.
Then it started with, that was mental.
Yeah.
Then emotional. I couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
I was a mess every day. I was crying. Next minute I was happy. I'd go to work, put on a front for customers because I was working at the supermarket.
Yeah.
Put on that front. I'd drive home. Then I'd be cut. I'd be pissed off. I'd be angry because I'm going to go home now. It's just going to be me thinking.
Roller coaster of emotions you were going through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And this was all during COVID.
Yeah.
So
sorry, not to cut you off, but that didn't help as well, being locked in your house 24 hours of the day, just looking at 4 white walls. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That would have been a contributing factor as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, but that's the emotional side.
Yeah.
Then physical. I wasn't walking. I wasn't moving. I was going to work and I was coming home. I put on heaps of weight.
Yeah.
My face was, do you remember my face?
Yeah, I remember.
My face went massive. It started with my face. And then, that's physical.
Yeah.
And then everyone else around me was seeing me stressed, and then it was stressing them out. And that's when what you were saying before comes into play. I'm going through problems. Everyone else around me was going through problems. We're in lockdown, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Why now does my problems have to be a burden on everyone else? So that's why I get that side.
Yeah.
Because every aspect of my health was declining.
Yeah.
Mental, everything.
Yeah.
And then everyone else was seeing that and was concerned and had the concern for me and put that attention towards me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't like this, because everyone else is going through shit. Everyone's going through lockdown. Everyone's not seeing their partner. Everyone's businesses are struggling. Like, people don't need that extra stress.
To you felt like your problem wasn't as big as others, in a sense.
Yeah.
But see, that's that kind of mentality, because I've been, I've been faulty of that as well. And it only means we're human. But
100%.
I think that, I don't speak for the masses, but I think they're, including myself, I used to think this way, but there are people out there that do think, I don't want to be a burden. This is my struggle. I've got to deal with this internally.
Yeah.
They've got their stuff they've got going on as well.
Yeah.
But that's where we're wrong. Because when you have a really good support system, or friends and family that really care about you, and you've got those people around you, they rather you say, fuck, I'm not good. I'm not doing well.
I'm not okay.
I'm not okay. Because the way I see it is that you're stripping them of that opportunity of being there for you by being silent.
Yeah.
Your silence means it speaks louder than words.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to say anything, but by you being silent, you've taken away so much opportunity from the people that care about us.
Yeah.
It could be in your relationship, in your friendship, in your family. You gotta. I don't say you got to, because nobody's got to do anything, right?
Yeah.
But give them that grace of at least allowing them to try and be there for you.
Yeah.
You know, if you give them that grace, you give them that opportunity to be there for you, and they're not there, well, hey, that says a lot. You know where you stand. But I think that just that mindset of like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be a burden. People got that. Because I've done that heaps of times. And then when I've actually sat down and reflected and checked myself, I'm like, no.
And then I crack the sheets because I'm like, you're going through shit and I'm sitting here thinking you're okay.
Yeah.
Because I'll ask him, hey, are you all right? What's going on? How was work today? How was this? How's your family?
Yeah.
And he'll be like, I'm fine. I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then I see it in his face, and then one day he'll crack the sheets and not be himself, and then I'm like, what's up? Yeah,
and then it's like, oh, well, this has been happening. It's like, well, why did you wait so long to tell me? Like, I'm your partner, for God's sakes, you know what I mean?
I'll be like, Jayla. I'm like, come on, mate. Come on, tell me. Jayla from Baddies. I have to like get my fucking punching bags out for him to actually open his mouth.
I don't think anyone watches Baddies from, like, not anyone, but Australians don't know about Baddies. But
I know a lot of people that watch it, thank you. But if you don't know it, watch it. There's a chick on there, Jayla, and every time she starts a fight, she goes like this. She's like, come on. That's me. When I have to get
she's grinding the gears. She's revving
ready.
Up the engine,
I love her. She's always ready. Go. You got to
standing on business.
What is it? Be ready or stay ready.
Nah, you gotta.
There's a line.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
That's it. She's always ready.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
I have to do that to him. When I know something's wrong and I'm going through shit too, and he goes and says, I'm fine. I can tell. Your nose flares out and your eyes look different. And that's the thing. You can tell.
You can tell. When you've been with somebody for so long, you can tell when they're bullshitting.
Exactly.
You can tell when something's up. So, you know,
What's mine when you know something's wrong? My eyes?
When something's wrong with Chloe, her eyes, but also is you give very like just
I don't talk.
She just gives like, I'm fine. Like very short sentences.
Because I know that the moment I start talking about my feelings,
you're gonna get emotional.
I'm gonna cry. Yeah, bro, I cried last week on the podcast. For God's sake,
she's a crier, and there's nothing wrong with that.
All the time. That's
there's
why
nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I know. That's why I'm blunt, because I know if I sit there and go
and start expressing how you're feeling, you're gonna cry. Yeah.
But then eventually I will. Give me an hour. Let me cry for 15 minutes, and then I'll come and talk. But
that's a good point, right?
What?
That's a good point. This sounds like give me an hour, give me this. It feels like give me space. But there are a lot of times. Or I shouldn't say a lot of times, but there have been times in relationships because people's lack of a communication and effective communication isn't great, that their partners keep asking them, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And that is continuously adding more fuel to the fire, to the flame, right?
Yeah.
Because it feels like, just get off my back. Like, and then it's like, but what's wrong? You're not telling me what's up. You're not telling me what's up. Yeah. So this is why it's so important to communicate to your partner, hey, I'm not feeling great. I need some space. You know, let me have maybe 30 minutes to myself. Let me go for a walk. But at the same time, whoever's on the receiving end of that messaging, don't take it as, oh, you don't want to spend time with me. Oh, you don't want to, you just don't, you know. Like, be open-minded and be like, okay, shit, maybe they're going through something, and, you know, let me give them their space. Let me respect their space. Yeah. And when they're ready, they'll tell me. So the thing here is, though, you can't get to that point if you don't express how you're feeling. No. You don't tell your partner how you're feeling.
You have to be open and honest and give that little bit of like, I'm not okay. I need space. Let me go. Let me go in my room, or let me go for a walk, go to the shops, do whatever.
Yeah.
Just let me go.
Yeah. Let me go, man. Let me go.
And that's the thing. People need to understand that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have your own personal space, then what?
Yeah. But we're talking about mental health, obviously, right? But how does it come about? Okay. Because when I think about 2025, there are so many stresses. There's little things that they start off little, then they pile up, then they pile up. Yeah. For example, the stress of the cost of living, for example, pandemic. That if you live in Victoria or just in Australia in general, you know, like $50 is not $50 anymore. Like
it's like $2.
What you could get in 10, 30 years ago or 20 years ago, for $50, and there's no way you're gonna,
$50 of petrol now is nothing.
It's not even. Maybe it's half tank.
It's just under half a tank
Just
for
under,
me.
yeah.
Oh no, it's less. Just a little bit less than half.
Yeah, but
3/4 of a tank, I reckon. Yeah.
But I say that I use that as an example because that's something a lot of people can relate to, right?
Yeah.
In this day and age. So the stresses of that, you think, oh, okay, I can handle it, and then it starts building up. It starts building up. So there are things that happen, regardless on social media in the everyday world, that creates these little problems that then starts to take a toll on us mentally.
Yeah.
So it's not just something people just don't wake up in the morning one day and have mental health problems. I'm not a doctor, but from what I don't think it just works like that. It's something that's either it started from early childhood trauma, or
you never know.
it could, it's
You never
actually
know.
true.
Honestly, I'll say this because I have, like, this is really random. Ever since I was a kid, I had suffered from like nightmares.
Yeah.
I would always have nightmares, and I'd wake up and I'd vomit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hate vomit. Sorry, I'm talking about
Little
vomit.
disclaimer.
But
yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
I honestly think you can. How many times have I had nightmares? I've woken up.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've woken up and
Yeah.
I just see life so differently because the dreams have just, the nightmares, sorry, not even dreams. Like, dreams are meant to be nice. They've just been so, like, explicit and so
Felt real.
It felt real.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm like, was I in like a different, it fucks with your head.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it really does. Like, last night, I actually didn't tell you. I had a dream last night that I was standing on a street with you and work bestie Joe.
Yeah.
From my
Shout
old
out
job.
to Joe.
The three of us. It was just random. We were just standing there and Joe walks off. She went somewhere, disappeared, and then it was just me and you, right? Standing there. And a truck looked like my dad's truck, but it was like a different brand. It was like a Ram. I don't know. My dad drives a big Ford truck. And it looked like a Dodge Ram, like a big, like, American style truck, and it was like sky blue color.
Yeah.
Comes down the street, and me and you were just standing there. And as he's gone down the street, my dream flashed to the people in the car.
Yeah.
And in the car, they were jumping, and it's really weird. They were trying to move the car so it moved up.
A little bit of side note, Chloe's dreams are really weird.
They're weird because I don't know. I don't know. And in the car, like, my dream flashed to them in the car, and they were trying to make the car do like a wheel stand and come like up.
Yeah.
And as they were driving past us, well, they were coming down the street, the car went up, and then he hit the curb, and as it got to us, the car flipped on the roof.
Yeah.
And it was a ute, and it just went poof. And then in my dream, I just stood there and I started screaming and I was crying. And then we've gone to the car to help these people, and they were all dead. That was this morning. I woke up at 6:30 this morning, had that dream, right?
That's a bit.
The things
that's a bit full on, man. You could have given me a heads up.
I'm sorry. I just thought this is good. Good thing to mention.
This is good.
No, it's not good.
Breaking news, you know.
But I've never witnessed anything. I've never witnessed a car crash in my life, especially something like that. Not even in a movie.
Sounds like Final Destination.
Yeah.
Too. When they're on the freeway scene with the truck.
Yeah.
And all the logs. If you've seen Final Destination, you know what I'm talking about.
But still,
it's crazy.
Like, and I've never seen a car accident. I've never seen a deceased person from an accident.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of that. I don't even watch, like, I don't know. And that all happened in my dream. I woke up this morning and I was like, what the hell?
That'll definitely fuck with you mentally.
That's what I mean.
That
People
will
have
definitely-
dreams
Yeah,
that make them go into maybe psychosis or something like that.
Or depression. Yeah. That'll definitely fuck with you.
100%.
Stuff like that.
So I reckon if your dreams are strong and powerful enough to, shift your whole reality when you wake up, I 100% think you can wake up one day and feel and have, some type of mental concern, because it's also what we see on Instagram and stuff, and on social media, that you're just scrolling past, you see it for 1 second, your brain remembers it, it's there, you can dream about it, and you're like, what the hell? I don't,
That's we'll just shift a little bit now. That's actually a really good point. You just said something, right? Social media.
Yeah.
That's another contributing factor to couples' mental health states and their relationship, because people always think that the grass is always greener on the other side, but no, the grass.
This man's speaking about maths.
No. I'm not. I'm not speaking about maths. Yo.
I know the challenge they did.
Yeah, but people always think that the grass is always greener on the other side, but no, you've heard the saying, the grass is greener where you water it, right?
Amen.
And obviously the other saying that comparison is the thief of joy. That's the thing nowadays. Social media is another contributing factor. You've been with your partner for a long time, everything's going well, and then you start seeing all these happy or supposedly what a healthy relationship should look like, or you see these couples, they look fit, they look like that, and you start comparing your partner, and you know, like, why isn't my partner like that? Why doesn't my partner do that? All these things can contribute to your mental health as well. So this is why it's important when you, like, it's important for you to communicate. And if you start having these thoughts and you start feeling these ways, it could be about a dream, it could be about social media, it could even be the pressure from family members to, you know, to have kids, to, you know, do this, do that. You know, pressures and stressors comes from every day. Pretty much this thing we call life that we're doing every day. It comes from that every day. So this is why it's so important mentally to communicate with your partner, because you'd be surprised as well. Your partner's probably she's going through shit, or he's going through shit, you know, and you kind of have that mindset of, oh, I don't want to be a burden. They're probably thinking the same thing as well. They don't want to be a burden.
Yep.
Why don't you guys be a burden together? And then you
you work your shit out together.
You work your shit out together.
100%.
So all these stresses and all these pressures can come from various different places.
Yeah.
And then that can also affect your relationship and your mental health as well.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you've gone from a good place to a bad place.
Yeah.
You know?
Social media is definitely a big thing, because it's like, when, like, I see people that I haven't seen for ages, or like, you know, if I'm networking, whatever, people know who I am, whatever, they go, oh, you and Frankie, you guys look so perfect, blah, blah, blah. And I actually, every time someone says that, I literally go, no, I have to stop them, because it's like, no.
Don't give them the wrong idea.
No, because what? I'm not going to go on Instagram and post a photo with him looking upset. Musulungo.
Who's going to do that?
No,
Who's going to do that?
You smile, you be happy. Even he doing
smile
this.
Smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave.
Even this, like, we do this podcast together.
Yeah.
Okay, we're the perfect couple because we can talk about shit. No, there's no such thing as a perfect couple, and that's the problem with social media, because you can post and make your relationship look however you want.
Lovey-dovey,
You and your partner have that control online of how you want people to see you, and it's like, no matter how you want people to perceive your relationship, they're
not in your relationship.
They're not in it. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't know half the shit that we go through as a couple.
Yeah.
And no one should know half the stuff that we go through, like personal shit. Like that's us. So it's like, social media is a big thing, because it's like, oh, this couple went here, this couple went there. They're doing this, they're getting their teeth whitened together.
Yeah, babe, look, they just went to Italy, or they just went to, Spain. Why can't we do that?
That's the thing. People can't see that and just go, I'm so happy for them. Look at them. They just they're living their life together as a couple.
But also, people sometimes lose the fact to just say, I'm so proud of my partner. My partner always works hard. We're always good. You know, it goes both ways. We're always good. We're happy. We can afford to go out to dinner. We can afford to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Comparison really is the teeth of joy. But the thief of joy, you know?
Yeah.
Because, there might be going to all these nice places, but you don't know if they're fucking scamming people to do that stuff. And now you're allowing your mental health to
however you get your money is how you get your money.
But, that's true. But what I'm saying is, though, like, don't compare yourself, because you don't actually know how people are making their money.
Oh no,
You know, each their own. Do whatever you want. Not our business. But at the end of the day, don't compare yourself to other people, because you actually don't know what they've got their hands in and what they're doing in order to be able to afford these trips, or to afford that, or to do that. Yeah, there's people that work extremely hard, but obviously there's people that take other avenues. So don't put yourself through that roller coaster, and then don't start comparing your partner to, oh, why don't you look like her? Why don't you look like him? You know what I mean? These are all the kind of things that is going to fuck up your mental health, and then you're going to carry that load onto your partner as well. Yeah. And that's just not fair. That's just not fair at all. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about was stigmas.
Stigma.
Stigmas. That's
Stigma.
right. ST.
I love that word. Stigma.
Why are you saying it like that, yo?
Stigma.
Why are you saying it like that?
It just sounds like a word that you have to just elongate. Stigma.
Okay.
Stigma.
Oh my God.
Sorry, everyone. That's
Yeah.
going to be added to my new favorite word list.
Oh
Stigma.
no. Here we go.
Stigma.
I'm gonna just come home from work and hear that. I'm just gonna close the door and just like, yeah, no, I'm out. But yeah,
Stigma.
let's breaking the stigmas around seeking help, right?
Yes.
So sometimes there are barriers when because people actually do come out and say, yeah, I do want support, which is great. And to me, that's like the biggest step you can take, right? Moving forward, like is the first step and the biggest step to say, shit, I'm actually going through some stuff. I need support.
You need
right?
help. Yeah.
Yeah. But despite the clear link between mental health and relationship dynamics, many Australians, because we're Aussies, right? So we're going to talk about Australians, still avoid seeking professional help due to cost and social stigmas. Recent studies indicate that the current economic climate discourages some from accessing mental health. So pretty much what it's saying is
Cost of living.
cost of living
Yeah.
and finances can be some of the barriers to people assessing mental health, but also the stigma around, well, you're kind of weak if you're having to seek support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know some people, there are people out there where they've been, if they're a guy, they've been told to toughen up. It's a part of life. Grow some balls, grow some sets. If it's a woman, that's just how they are. Like, they're very emotional, or you're always crying all the time. Stop crying. Why are you crying for? Toughen up, and then also stigmas around like seeking couples counseling, for example,
like we did it. We had to do it
as part of our marriage preparation.
Part of marriage preparation, we had to do 3 sessions.
Yeah.
3 sessions of marriage preparation and like counseling. So pretty much we went through our whole relationship. We spoke about topics that were, very touchy, but we did it. But like you said, it's the stigma thing. I'm bouncing between topics. Yeah. The stigma thing, it's like some people don't necessarily need to go to a professional. Like you might sit there and identify the problem and know what's causing you, like mental strain.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and go, this is the problem. I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to go shopping, or I'm going to go to a pet shop and look at cute animals. And that might be your thing that you do, that, you're feeling that sense of like relief and, like, oh, this actually makes me feel so much happier doing this. Or even going out with your friends. If you've got certain mates that you feel more comfortable around than others, you identify a problem, you try different things, and you're like, nah, this is what I'm going to do. This is good. Because realistically, psychologists and all that, they're great. Yeah. Therapists are amazing, but
they're also this.
It's a lot of money. And if you can't get your hands on a plan,
or like a mental health care plan, or have a concession or something like that.
Anything like that from your doctor.
Not everyone can afford it.
It's hard. Honestly, it's hard. Yeah.
But it's also the stigma around, like, I get that it's hard, but also, let's say on the flip side, you can afford it, right? You're in a good place in society, right? You got a little bit of dough to spend here and there. You're in a good place, right? You can afford it. There's always, not always, but there's sometimes outside, voices talking, saying, oh, you're going to a counselor, is something wrong with your marriage? Like, or is there something wrong with your relationship? That's the stigma right there.
There's a big stigma.
People always think that just because you're going to counseling, it means that there's something wrong with your relationship.
Yeah.
What happened to just normalizing it to continue keeping the relationship healthy? And that's one thing I've noticed in society, people only turn to counseling when there's trouble, and maybe that's a stigma we need to break.
Yeah, but typically if you're going to see a counsellor, you've identified a problem and you don't know what to do. So you need like that kind of mediator, help, whatever you want to call it, to assist with that.
But at the same time, though, you can also go to a counsellor and say like, we've been facing these problems, but however, there's really positive things that have come out of, there's really like celebrating your partner and celebrating each other and letting your partner know about those achievements and things like that. But then again, if you're doing that initially to begin with, you wouldn't even have to go to a counselor.
Yeah, but sometimes it's good to just go.
Um,
Regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, regardless, sometimes it's just good to go. But that's what I'm saying, though. The stigma here is that people think that they hear couples counseling or couples therapy, all of a sudden their brain goes to, because we're wired like that as human beings. Oh shit, they're going through some sort of problems.
Yeah.
And when that might not even be the case.
Yeah.
Maybe 95% of the time it is the case, but then what about that 5% when it actually isn't?
Yeah. No,
You know what
even
I mean?
like us when we did it for marriage, like we weren't experiencing any issues at that point in time over those 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's like when we were going, it's like we're going and we could like we didn't have heaps to speak about. It was more just discussing a lot of the like touchy topics in relationships, and because we're getting married in the Catholic Church, it was based off the Catholic faith.
Yeah.
So we had
majority
to speak,
of the questions. Yeah.
Yeah, like there was questions like, are you going to bring up children?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you going to raise them in
the
faith?
church?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you going to what's your view? We had to talk about pornography.
Yeah.
As in a relationship.
That shit was funny, by the way.
Okay?
Yeah, no.
We just ate dinner.
Yes, agitor, as Chloe would say.
What did you just say?
I said that shit was funny when they brought up the porn.
I know,
was like,
and poor Wendy was like asking us questions, and she was like, "Do you watch it?" We watch it together. We just like watch it and laugh, and
I'm like, hell
have
yeah,
a good old time.
Damn, of course I do. Shit, we watch BBW and Fake Taxi. Nah,
He showed me Pog.
Yes,
I didn't know that was a thing.
it is a thing.
It stands for something.
Yes,
and I was
people
like,
know.
what is this, Frankie? And he goes, what, you never heard of this? And I was like, no.
But
anyway, this is a topic for another day.
But
we spoke about absolutely everything. And then when she was like, do you have any concerns? At that point in time, we were like, no.
We didn't have any concerns, but it was good that we did it because it kind of allowed us to think about like questions we hadn't actually thought about.
Yeah.
It raises things. So like you can go for one thing, for example, your mental health, right?
Yeah.
And then you can come out of it with like, like a whole different perspective on your relationship and your partner. And it can be like an awakening. And we're like, and then, you start self-reflecting. Oh shit, what have I been doing this whole time as well?
Yeah, well, that's it.
So in a sense, it is beneficial, right?
Yeah.
But the point here is that you got to look after yourself and look after each other, because if you're not doing that, then what are you doing? Your partner can't read your mind. You can't read their mind. Communication. It goes back to the big C word, communication.
Yeah. I think communication is important in like every
aspects of life.
Because it's like you can not communicate and not be okay.
Yeah.
And like people won't know because you're not saying anything.
Yeah.
And like that's a big thing. Like, people are shy, people are quiet, people might not want to speak about it.
Yeah.
That's fine. But sometimes it's the quiet people that are going through the most. Like, you're thinking, they're boring, they've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Okay. When you do the flip side, they're probably going through a million things in every aspect of their life, and you don't know because they're quiet. Or when you ask them, they've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell.
Definitely. But also another stigma can be friends as well, friends and family as well. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to be very careful that you don't allow friends and family to put their expectation onto your relationship.
Yeah.
Because that can create some
problemos.
Some problems, and it can bring along some unrealistic expectations. Like, you guys go at your own pace,
Yeah.
You beat at the tune of your own drum.
Yeah.
It's nice to be open-minded and to hear other people's opinions. Of course, you can't walk around living like you know it all. We don't, right? Because some people's opinions are like, I can actually resonate with that. That's
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But at the same time, be very careful, that their opinions and what they say doesn't have some sort of negative impact on your relationship.
Yeah.
Because there is that stigma of unrealistic expectation that comes from friends and families. Like, for example, you guys have been married for 10 years. You got no kids. What's going on? You know what I mean? that can fuck with somebody mentally as well.
100%.
Because then you start second guessing yourself. I'm like, damn, is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with my partner?
Yeah.
So, as much as we love our friends and families, that is still something you got to be very wary of. There are certain information that's positive and that's good to take in, but the ones that are not, don't take it in. Like, you got to filter it.
100%.
You know? But what do you think about that? Just, like social settings,
expectations
friends
and stuff from like people in general. The one thing that we get all the time is about kids.
Yeah.
You and Frankie would have such beautiful babies. And people say it, no disrespect at all. People say it in innocence, right?
Yeah. Which isn't,
but then,
there's nothing wrong with it,
100%. I know. If we have kids one day, they're going to be absolutely beautiful regardless, right? But it's like, you could say those comments to someone who, you don't know, like, what they're going through. They might be infertile. Either the husband, the wife, you don't know, or both of them. You actually don't know. And, that's something that people keep quite close to them and don't say. So it's like people just need to be careful when they speak about certain things. That's the one thing where I'm like, fuck, like, that's the one thing that I probably won't bring up with people. Like, I'll say it as a joke to, like, our close friends, like, oh, the baby's coming soon. Yeah. But it's like, it's because you know them on that level. It's like when you bump into, like, friends you haven't seen for ages, or like acquaintances, friends of your parents, friends of friends, aunties, friends, people that you're not necessarily close with, and they say things like that. I think it can come off a little bit iffy. That's one thing, and I see a lot of posts on it on Instagram because I follow a lot of like PCOS pages because I got polycystic ovarian syndrome, right? And I follow a lot of those pages, and there's a lot of women. I always go in the comments, and they're always like, I always get asked when I'm going to have a baby, and like, it's harder for someone with PCOS to fall pregnant, right? So it's being in communities like that, you see that, it's how common it is.
You see the toll it takes on people as well, like, just emotionally.
So like, that's a big thing.
By the way, you said that so smooth. Like,
what?
You said it so smooth. I would have fucked that up. I would have stuttered, yo.
Polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to you.
Okay,
you got it.
Yeah, that's only one of the things that is wrong with me. But anyway, like, it's things like that.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, nah, fertility is something so sacred to a relationship where, that's not something, that should be broadcasted. And it's like, like, people 100% say it out of innocence, but it's like, it takes that fifth or sixth person to say that comment,
and you're like,
it flips you off the edge, and it's like, this is the,
like, I put them up.
Another auntie just said it to me, and I can't have a baby, and I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah,
like, it's things like that, and there's posts that I see that are like, stop asking married, engaged, or like women in relationships when they're gonna fall pregnant. You don't know what they're going through.
Yeah,
like, and that's a big thing that takes a toll on a relationship. I think I spoke about it last week. Was it last week?
Yeah.
How when we met and I got diagnosed with it, and I'm like, this man, I've just settled with him, and I've just been diagnosed with this. Like, that alone.
Yeah. That could have been mentally challenging for a lot of people. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it was in the back of my mind, but at the end of the day, like, I was mentally tough, and I am mentally tough. About certain things, because I do look at the bigger picture, and I see people for who they are. But there are people out there that are not, unfortunately, don't have that same mindset, right? No. And information like that, for example, could have been what you told me, or could have been somebody else, and something different.
Yeah,
it's different for everyone, right?
Yeah,
and that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Another thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to mental health and being in a relationship and dating and stuff like that, because yes, we're together, but let's be mindful that obviously there's people that are single.
Yes.
And that do want to obviously come into a relationship. But now what I see, from my perspective, and this is my opinions, right? Because opinions like assholes, everyone's got one. You've heard that. Come on.
Oh my God. Opinions are like assholes because everyone has one. I have never heard that in my life.
Really?
You know what?
Maybe you have.
No one's ever heard my breadcrumb and loaf of bread thing. So this is a first one for me.
Yes. Clean your dirty hole. Anyways.
Oh my God.
yeah, everyone's got one, but for people that are single, it can be mentally tough when there are unrealistic expectations, right?
100%.
Like, the whole 6 figures, 6 this, 6 that, you got to be 6 foot tall. Hey, I'm a lot of things, but I am not 6 foot tall, right?
But he's taller than me and I'm happy.
That's all that matters.
Sorry.
Shout out to the short kings, yo. And the tall ones. We don't discriminate, yo.
I have no problem with short men. It's just like,
yeah.
I like to feel small. Sorry.
Hey, you like what you like.
I like what I like.
You like what you like. There
I
ain't
do.
nothing wrong with that. But these unrealistic expectations around, you've got to drive a this, you've got to drive a that. Like, this shit is gonna, and it goes both ways. You know what I mean? Both
Yeah.
ways. She's got to look like this. She's got to have a BBL. She's got to be fit. She's got to be friendly. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All this kind of stuff. All these things people don't realize, but we're contributing to this mental health crisis. We're really fucking up each other with all these unrealistic expectations. Gone are the days where you see somebody for who they are. Like, hey, I like you. You look nice. Yeah, hey, let's work together. Let's make something work. That's how it was back in the day. You know what I mean? Now it's, hey, I like you. All right, cool. Let's see your bank account. Like, oh, okay. Like, damn.
Yeah.
That's
very American though. Like,
No,
that's so much. I
actually-
see that on TikTok and it's all in America.
It's actually not all in America because,
How do you know that? I haven't been on a date since I've been with you.
and I haven't been on a date since I've been with you either. But I can tell you that I've seen Australian social medias.
So that's the difference. You have a lot of Australian.
I've got a mixed.
But you have a lot of Australian videos and stuff. I'm very like American.
Because one thing I've
That makes
noticed
sense.
about
Sorry.
Australia as a culture, yes, we've got our own culture, but we love to indoctrinate the American culture and the UK culture. We love that. Like, whatever's trending, we're gonna hop on it.
We hop on it.
You know what I mean? Especially with America, they're so influential in the way we live. And just they're influential all around the world, right? Like, they're a major power. But especially when it comes to dating, we take their ideology and their mindset and we bring it here as well.
Yeah.
You like, for example, the Pop the Balloon shows that we watch. Started in
Go
America.
Arlette.
Like,
She started that.
she started it. Now, what? Australia's got one, and now they're doing this. It's the
The
same
Australian
messaging.
one was funny. I loved it.
It's like the same messaging.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a perfect example, right? So now, like, it's creating this wave of like, oh damn, well, I'm not good enough. I might as well just be by myself.
Yeah.
And then some people are cool with that. Some people are just happy with being alone.
Yeah.
But then there's some people where it messes with them mentally, and then they start to question, am I good enough? Will I ever be good enough?
Yeah.
Would I ever find a partner? And then when they do find a partner, right, they take that similar mindset of like, oh, but do they really like me? Or are they just with me because, they feel sorry for me? There's so many various
There's
different,
so much shit.
it messes up with your mind. It's a mind fuck. You know what I mean? So that's just another, like, it's another stigma as well. Because it's like, what do you have to offer? Oh, you can't offer me anything? Okay, on to the next. And people low-key be playing themselves mentally and physically. Yeah. What do you think?
Yes, I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
Yeah. So I think coming back to where we first started, it's important to set realistic expectations. Regardless if it's in your friendship, family, your relationship, it's important to set realistic expectation. Focus on meaningful experiences over materialistic displays. What do you think about that?
You did not come up with
I
that.
didn't, but that's why I'm reading it.
I was going to say, you're not that good at English, man.
I'm a poet, y'all.
Yeah, he's a poet.
y'all.
Vala.
I got out of these game, man.
Oh my God.
The grizzler.
What's your we are men of Vala. One day,
We are not going there, bro.
this man out of nowhere started speaking like he was in the medieval
I
times.
thought I was a Viking for a
And he was sitting there going, we are men of Vala.
We drink
We drink from the bosom and all this shit.
till our cups overfill.
Overflow. He started,
Overflows.
and he started, then it went from overflow. He sounded Maltese and then it just went downhill from there.
I went through all the ethnicities.
He went
y'all.
through,
I went
yeah.
through the whole phase.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was a good episode, Frankie.
Yeah, but
Oh, we're still going.
of course we're still
Oh,
going.
okay,
We're chilling.
Mesh.
We're
Okay.
chilling. What's the hurry?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. But you know, focus on meaningful experiences over materialistic displays.
Yes.
What does that sound like to you? What does that mean for you?
Meaningful experiences over materialistic.
Displays. So materialistic displays like buying gifts, and gifting all the time.
Okay, look, there are people that do that.
Yeah.
Like there are acts.
That's their act of.
It's their love language.
Love language, right?
Like our friend Samantha.
Yeah.
Did the microphone cut out? Oh no. Our friend Samantha, every time I see her, she has a gift for us.
Shout out to Samantha, you're a real one.
She's the most kindest soul, and she's always got something. Last time I went out with her. I was with Alicia. Shout out to Alicia. You all know her as well.
Yeah.
It was St. Patrick's Day. Samantha went and bought us Play-Doh. Green Play-Doh.
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Because she was considerate and thought about us.
Every time she's bought me like a fake flower,
Yeah.
like and it's made of like she's knitted it, like she didn't knit it. It looks like she did, but she bought it. It's like that. Acts of service, right?
Yeah.
Can be and materialistic things, giving a physical object can be something as simple and as small as giving a fucking container of Play-Doh.
Yeah.
And that's. You could consider that as a material object.
Yeah.
It's the
It's
thing
different for
now-
everyone.
It's the thing now of give me a material object and it has to be designer for you to prove how much you love me. No, doesn't fucking work like that on your first date. I'm sorry, but your first date with someone or first few interactions
Or just in general.
It can't be this whole thing of, if he loves me and if he wants this to work, he will prove everything and he'll drop $600 on the bill. He'll pay for my Uber home. He'll pay for a hotel and he'll probably buy me something all on the first date. You don't do that on the first date.
Nah.
My God, our first date,
that's-
for God's sake, we had no money and drank out of the same fucking
Brokey.
Fanta. Yeah, with 2 straws.
By
That
the
was
way-
our first
By
date.
the way, go watch the first episode if you want to know about our first day, yo. And by the way, make sure to like and subscribe if you made it all the way through.
Thank
to the
you,
video.
Frankie.
Yes.
Thank you, Frankie.
Yes.
But
And-
our first date, we got an extreme Fanta. It was bloody huge. It was like a litre. It was huge. And we both had a straw.
And that's it.
That was the material object that brought us
But
together.
no, that was the meaningful experience, actually.
Uh,
That was the
But it
meaningful
was an
experience.
object.
It was an object, but there was a meaningful element to it. And I think with a meaningful experience is you can be provided with the object.
Jesus.
Oh, sorry, babe. I almost took her eye out.
Oh, no.
You can be provided with a meaningful the object, but it's up to you as a couple to be creative to come up and create that meaningful experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much hype about, the first date means everything and where he takes me, blah, blah, blah. You can go to a good restaurant. Don't get me wrong.
But that don't mean shit.
It doesn't mean anything. He can take you wherever and, it doesn't necessarily mean like, you're probably like the third girl he's brought to this really expensive place.
in the same week as well.
Who knows?
And the waiters and the waitress, they know him or
It's
they know
like
her.
you can just do something as simple as going bowling
Or going for a
or
walk.
going for a walk, doing
Yeah.
something cute, go mini golf.
But that is the epiphany and the definition of meaningful experiences, right? Epitome, sorry. Yes, thanks for the correction, babe. Meaningful experiences, it's things you can do where you're in the presence of that person, but you're in the moment.
Exactly.
You're in the moment mentally, spiritually, and physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
When going back to your schooling days.
You can just go out for a simple dinner somewhere.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like just not like a decent price restaurant. You don't need to go to bloody, Crown Conservatory or like Meat and Wine Co.
Yeah.
You do that on a special occasion.
Yeah.
Not just on your first date, unless you're both millionaires and you're willing to
if
split
you've got
the
it
bill.
like that, yeah, then go for it. But
How did we get to this?
it was prioritizing meaningful experiences over materialistic
okay.
things. Yeah.
Prioritize the meaningful experience
It's
over anything.
trust me.
That's what you'll remember.
Yeah, it'll do wonders for your mental health. And speaking of that, right? I mean, it's been pretty heavy conversation. Let's be real. Anything that has to do with mental health, it's pretty heavy because it is a serious conversation and people struggle with it every day. And, I think it's important that we end with things we like to do for self-care to look after our mental health.
We've spoken about this before on the podcast.
But we have, but there's nothing wrong with repeating it because there might be a new viewer or somebody who's watching for the first time. It could give them a spark, an idea, or motivate them to do something that they've probably been doubting that they want to do. Right? So for me,
You go first.
in our relationship, I'm very big on, dinner, like us going out, spending time with friends and family. But for me, if I had a hard day at work, I just like to go on the game, not to think about it, or just a hard day in general. Spend time on the game and then come and spend time with Chloe because you got to spend time with your loved ones, even when shit's going, the way you don't want it to go. So very big on video games, gym. Obviously, we go out a lot. We actually do go out a lot.
Recently, we haven't.
Not recently, but just
This year, we haven't.
Speaking in general, like we go out a lot because
love socializing.
Yeah, we love being with our friends, but we love our peace as well. Yeah, yeah.
The last time we had a date night, we made a friend with this random guy, and he pops up everywhere now. I'm not dropping his name.
Yeah,
but we went out together. We spoke about it on the podcast. We went to Ho Chi Mama and Sugar Sundays for a dance before it got burnt down because now it's gone. And this guy came up to us, and now whenever we're out, we see this man. And it's like, what the fuck? Like,
and he's a vibe. Yo, he is a vibe.
I actually thought Frankie knew him.
Nah.
In that moment,
Mr. Vibes Cartel. Nah, I'm kidding. But he's a vibe. No, he's actually a vibe. But I don't know how many times I've just said vibes, but he's a vibe.
He is.
But what do you like to do for self-care though? Like, and that helps. Yeah, self-care. Self-care that helps, within our relationship and just in general with your mental health.
I like doing my makeup. I know that sounds really crazy. I like to sit there and just do my makeup and take my time.
Yeah.
I like to have a shower, which I do every day anyway.
Yeah.
But I like to have my everything shower. I feel like that at the end when I'm cleanly shaved, my hair is washed and blow waved, and sometimes I'll put on a nice little fake tan and I'm, USA. Even getting a massage here and there, highly recommend if you have an extra $100 that you want to spend on something that you'll be so happy after.
Couples massage.
Get yourself a massage because it relieves so much tension and stress. If you've got a focal point, they'll ask you, where do you want me to work on more?
Yeah.
Tell them and they will work on it. I've always got back pain, lower back and neck, whatever, because I'm at a desk. I've been working at a desk for ages. So doing that relieves so much tension, so much pain. When you're done, you feel a bit dizzy, and then after the dizziness is gone, bro, you could throw me off a bridge, and I reckon I'd be alive. I feel like I can do anything after a massage.
Yeah.
So definitely a massage, even cleaning. I like to clean and organize things. That mentally for me, it relaxes me. And I like being outside too.
We outside.
I can't be in the sun for too long because I'm doing laser on my face and on my whole body. So I can't be in the sun and be exposed.
But you like being outside.
But I like being outside. It's nice, even if I'm just all covered up. But
but in saying that, pretty much what we're saying.
Oh, and when I have money, I go shopping. Anyway.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Shout out to Chloe's TikTok, by the way. If you want to see her do her makeup tutorials,
thanks.
Go check it out. She's on TikTok.
I do cooking with Chloe. I do get readies with me. I've got a Shein haul that I've promised people 3 weeks ago that I haven't done because I know that it's going to be a big thing because my whole wardrobe is Shein.
Yeah.
I do day in the life.
And
I do random things.
And the snippets of me in there sometimes.
He's in
here
there,
and there.
Taste testing all my food.
Because I love to eat. But to come to conclusion though with today's conversation, we've got stuff that we like to do for our mental health, regardless if you're in a relationship or you're single. Mm-hmm. Please take the time out to prioritize your mental health. And it's okay not to be okay. Mm-hmm.
People take the piss when it's, are you okay? They'll be like, oh, are you okay?
No, it's actually okay not to be okay. Everything doesn't always have to be sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
Because we live in the real world. It's not always like that. But be kind to your partner. Mm-hmm. Be kind to yourself.
Because it's everyone's first time living this life.
Yes, and don't cry.
I'm not. It's not directed towards my mum, so I'm not going to cry. This is towards everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, it's everyone's first time living in this life.
Yeah. And we've said it so many times on the show.
Chill.
Like, we're all trying to figure this shit they call life out. No one's got to figure it out. I don't care what you see on social media or just in general. Bruh, everyone's playing, they're playing it as they go.
Yeah.
So prioritize your health. Prioritize your mental health. If you're not okay, It's okay not to be okay, but make sure you do something about it. Open up to your friends and family and your loved ones.
That's it.
And seek the support that you need. Yeah.
Can you end on like a happy note, please?
Yes. That is a happy note, but
No, it is. It is.
it is a happy note. Yeah,
A bit
it's
more
very happy.
lighthearted. Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Once we get to 100 subscribers, do not forget I'm getting all love, no hate tattooed somewhere on me.
She really wants that tattoo, y'all.
I do. I'm craving
Help her
another
out.
tattoo. I forgot to tell everyone when we
Yes.
came back. I got
But
a big tattoo on my stomach now.
Yeah. But also shout out to our new subscribers. We've noticed. Yes.
Yeah, they're all coming through.
We've had 4 new subscribers, but you know, we love what we do regardless if it's 4 or one people, but we appreciate every single one of you that tune in week out. Let's continue to grow and continue to have meaningful conversations.
Yeah. Shout out to Melanie as well. She commented, hello.
Yes, shout out to you. We haven't forgotten.
Hello, Melanie.
Yes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a good weekend, and we're going to watch some reality trash TV.
I know. And should we end with like a bit of like an inspirational thing? Live, laugh, love, be happy.
Yes. And remember, comparison's the thief of joy. Toodles.
Yes. And what was mine? I said it on TikTok the other day. And
Live una vida loca.
No, it was have a good day. Give your armpits a spray. And may all the may all the bad vibes go away.
That's it.
That's
yo.
it.
We out.
Bye.
Dab me up. That's what. Ooh, connection.